In May this year, President Museveni issued an executive order and guided that only factories processing timber within Uganda for the production of plywood, furniture and other value-added products should be allowed to operate, but with sustainable tree planting and harvesting plans. This was followed with a police announcement that they would enforce the directive in conjunction with the National Forestry Authority, the Uganda Revenue Authority and the Army. Today, members of Uganda Forestry Working Group, which brings together people who are into tree planting and timber exportation, together with Worldwide Fund for Nature, discussed the current challenges facing the forestry sector.
It's not about going against the directive of the President, but we're having a conversation about how they can be meaningful conversation that we can have a win-win.
The foresters are now calling on government to clarify its intention on the timber business exportation guidelines, whether they amount to a ban or an administrative issue.
Stakeholders picked interest in it to determine the implications. So today's meeting was mainly to understand what the ban means to a private tree planter, but also how to support government in ensuring that the ban does not have very significant negative externalities, especially to tree planter.
To engage with government, to try and understand what it is that we have. Is it a ban? Is it a temporary measure? If it's a ban, for how long? And that sort of thing.
I was of the opinion that we intend to sit with the relevant policy makers in not a very far time, I believe within these weeks, to charter a way on how we intend to proceed. But export of timber is going to happen, but it shall be categorized.
Since the executive order must have slowed down on the business and are now laying off people, which continues to affect the economy of the country.
It's important that the sector is guided on how to operate, because it has raised a lot of anxiety. There are some investors who are considering withdrawing because they are not certain whether our environment, our economic environment is suitable for a person who is growing trees for exporting timber.
The ban is expected to have an effect on the forestry cover, since the private sector is growing more trees than government.
If we don't create incentives for private forest actors, it means we're not going to be increasing more forest cover. So our approach to conservation is about how we'll be able to manage resources sustainably. So that there's increased forest, increased tree planting, but also conserving the existing forest.
The foresters are going to petition government seeking for a way forward.
Our understanding is that this petition will help the minister responsible to ensure that the guidelines that he will provide to operationalize this ban are fair and also do not negatively affect this very nascent sector that we are trying to nurture.
Government came up with a ban on timber exportation and charcoal burning in a bid to protect the environment. Juma Kiria, NTV.